How's it going, Top Forest TV? My name is Jack and welcome to my review of Nottingham Forest versus Brentford that finished early on today at the City Ground. So yeah, a 1-1 draw, and one that, I think given the circumstances, given the fact we went down to 10 men, I think, you can't complain too much on that. We went sort of 10 men to 10 men, in the middle of the second half. They scored from the resulting free kick, and it could have been a situation where we crumbled from there straight on. They scored straight after. We could have kind of lost our heads a bit, gone down and thought, oh well, that's that really, but we didn't. Cooper made some really good substitutions, brought on Gibbs White. It was a tough call to probably drop Gibbs White from the starting 11. He always seems to be one of the first men on the team sheet for Steve Cooper, and rightly so. He was a man that last summer he spent a lot of the budget on, and he made that call today to start him from the bench, which I'm not, looking at how it panned out, I'm not too disappointed by. I was a bit curious to see why he did that, but playing Dominguez in that role, he seemed to be okay. But he made the change, brought on Toffolo and Gibbs White, who both combined for our equaliser. Dominguez scoring the header. So, to hold on, I'll talk about it in a bit more detail in a second, but to hold on with a point in that circumstance, we're still unbeaten at home in the league. It's, very positive. One that I can't complain about too much. There was some interesting calls, like I say, in the starting 11. Niakate played out on the left hand side of a 4, so playing as a left back. Murillo being brought in for his debut. Obviously, Gibbs White being dropped. And to be honest with you, it seemed to work. Obviously, it was Niakate that did get the red card, but other than that, I think he was okay. I think he did quite well in that left back spot, to be honest with you. But look, the red card, not ideal in any situation. Obviously, it'll be interesting to see sort of how that pans out for Palace next week, and not 100% sure on how many games you get banned for 2 yellow cards. I'm not sure, but we'll see how that works. Was it a red card? Unfortunately, yes. It was one of them ones where it wasn't intentional. It was an accident, but unfortunately, the rules of football can't sort of say, oh, well, he didn't mean to. It wasn't what he was trying to do, so we'll let him off. Because in a lot of occasions where you get a second yellow, or even the first yellow card, or whatever, it's not done intentionally. Obviously there are occasions when players, a tactical foul, they know exactly what they're doing. Sometimes, like Roy Keane against Erling Haaland's father, Alf Inge, he knew exactly what he was doing in that moment where he went in with that awful tackle. There are moments where a player knows exactly what it is that they're doing and the reason why they've gone in and made that tackle. Maybe it's through anger and frustration, or maybe it's, like I say, a tactical foul to stop an attack or whatever. So there are moments where they know what they're doing, but a lot of the time, you look at Curtis Jones yesterday against Spurs, he didn't intentionally go in with his studs up on, I think was it Sarr or Bissouma, I can't quite remember. He didn't intentionally go with his studs up, and okay, his foot went over the ball. He did get the ball first, but his studs did go into his leg, like in this case with Niakate. He got the ball first time, tried to get it the second time, and unfortunately, his studs just scraped down the back of Wissa's leg, and it was a red card. And, it's a difficult one to take, given the fact that it wasn't an intentional move. It wasn't something that he thought, look, this is what I want to do. It just happened. That's what unfortunately occurred. But, look, we didn't suffer with 10 men. I think we worked really well as a unit defensively, did really well, managed to get our equaliser, had a chance as well towards the end to get all 3 points. So, look, it's good. It's good signs. Who knows what would have happened if we'd had 11 men on the pitch. So, yeah, it's not too disappointing. Brentford, I think, played well. Not as good as I've seen them play. I highlighted in the preview about their set pieces and what did they go and do, score from a set piece. It's the Brentford way. They are so good at set pieces. It's one of their strong assets. They've got so many tall players in there. It was Norgard who scored this one. And, they checked VAR, not offside in my opinion. There was a player offside, but he wasn't interfering with it, so you can't really complain on that one too much. But, there were some standout performances for me that I want to highlight quickly. Dominguez, I think, was really, really good for me. Played really well in the middle of the park. Got his goal, and I think he deserved the goal. A lovely looping header. Question marks over Flecken's goalkeeping for Brentford. I thought that against, I think it was Newcastle a couple of weeks back. He didn't look very assured in his own goalkeeping. There were a few things he did in that one where, he gave away a penalty and one thing and another. He just didn't look very good. I don't know. And in this one of the only chances we had in the second half, the looped header over the top of him, which Alan Smith in commentary he said it looked like Flecken had thought the ball was going to go over the crossbar, so he didn't quite jump as high as he needed to. I feel like any other goalkeeper would have made the save, tipped over, just in case, but he anticipated that the ball was going to go over. It didn't, and for us, we managed to get an equaliser out of that. I really liked how Gibbs White got on the ball. He waited for Toffolo. He knew Toffolo was going to make that run, burst down the left-hand side, played it into him. A lovely ball in, and then that header from Dominguez. It was really good. A really nice team goal. Well worked that. Intelligence from Gibbs White, which is something that, he's just so good, Gibbs White. And I don't question Cooper for not starting him. I think it's justifiable. There's been a lot of games recently, and yes, it was really good. A really nice team goal. Well worked that. Intelligence from Gibbs White, which is something that, he's just so good, Gibbs White. And I don't question Cooper for not starting him. I think it's justifiable. There's been a lot of games recently, and he wants to try something a little bit different. Maybe he thought that Dominguez offered something in the midfield against Brentford that maybe Gibbs White didn't from the off. But yeah, it was very smart, very intelligent from that. Lovely ball in and a lovely header from Dominguez. Another player I want to quickly talk about is Murillo. Murillo. I thought he was brilliant today. A really good debut. For only 21 years old, to play the way he did was really good. Was really, really good. I think it's really promising signs for him. 21 years of age. And he looked quite mature in his performance, I thought. Was good on the ball. Not afraid to sort of move out the defence. Very good covering. There was a moment where he put one off the line late on. And I really was impressed by him. I think it was maybe... Some fans thought he might go straight into the starting 11. I think Cooper knows what he's doing in terms of easing him in a little bit. Gave him a full 90 today. I don't know if it was his plan to give him a full 90 if Niakate wasn't sent off. I don't know. But I thought he played really well today, Murillo. And I can't wait to see more of him in a Forest shirt. Like I say, 21 years of age. He's got a long way to go in his career. To put in a performance like that, really good, promising signs, and I was really, really happy with his performance today. They gave Christoph Ayer man of the match for Brentford, but I thought Murillo was a shout for it, to be honest with you. I think he was really, really good, and hopefully that's a sign of things to come. I think maybe with Niakate being suspended now, it might give him a chance to start against Palace away. But yeah, I was really, really pleased with that performance. I was really quite encouraged by it. It was really good. I don't know what's happened with Ola Aina. I'm not sure. I didn't get to watch the game against Man City, unfortunately. I've got family over and one thing and another from Australia, and they took me to a Grimsby Town match, which is actually quite a decent game, to be honest with you. So unfortunately, I couldn't quite keep up with the game last week. But I'm not sure if he picked up a knock or anything in that one. I don't know, but hopefully he's okay, because I've really been impressed by him to start the season off. So we'll see what happens in that. But I think Murillo, yeah, for me, really, really good, and I was really impressed. Someone that I have been impressed with recently, but had a few moments in this game that I was a bit unsure about, and that was Turner. He's been really good over the past few games, and I think he's justified the fact that he's starting over Vlachodimos. But in this one, he was I don't know if it was the instruction from Cooper, but he was rushing out of goal a couple of times in that second half. Got caught on the ball by Visser. Was quite fortunate that he didn't give a penalty away, really. You know, if the referee had looked into it a bit more, then it could have been a penalty. There was definitely reason to say it was. So, you know, he got kind of fortunate on that one. But, yeah, it wasn't his best game. I think out of all the games we've seen him play so far, it was probably his worst, if I'm honest with you. But, you know, you can't complain too much. He did make a couple of saves which were quite important in the game, and only conceded once. So it's not disastrous. I didn't get in too much of a pickle that sort of resulted in the goal. So I can't be too disappointed with him. But, you know, look, it's... you got to praise people, and sometimes you got to say when you weren't too, you know, what was the word? You're not really kind of too sure on some of the actions that he made, some of the times that he ran out of the goal. I was looking a bit like, what? Reminded me of Nick Pope against Liverpool last season before the Community Shield, the Carabao Cup final, where he got himself sent off. I was just thinking, oh no, like please don't do swing silly like that. But yeah, look, I wasn't too sure on that one, but look, I think he's played well in the other games today. Not too sure on it, but hopefully, you know, we'll see. I don't know if it means Vlachidimos will come in against Palace now, but yeah, not the end of the world, but a little bit shaky on that. Bowley, I thought, played well again. He's been very consistent for Forest. Very rarely puts a foot wrong. There was an opportunity for a penalty in the first half where it kind of hit his arm, and I don't think for him it was a penalty because I don't think he really knew what was happening. There was a couple of moments before, or even seconds before. Was it? It was either before or after, I can't quite remember. It was in that same action. And it was Dominguez where he kind of went up with his arm in the air. That one, yeah. How that wasn't given a penalty, I'm not quite too sure. But it wasn't, so we're not going to complain. But yeah, overall, a good performance. I think, you know, you look at that game and you take a point. If someone offers you a point before the match, I think most of us would probably not be too disappointed by it. Obviously, we want 3 points, and I think, you know, having you have 10 men, it could have gone for that goal a little bit more towards the end. I don't know. I was really encouraged, actually, by the fact that Cooper made quite a lot of attacking substitutions after the red card. Obviously, he had to bring on Toffolo to bring back the balance to the back four, but then he brought on Gibbs White, who not only on an attacking sense. I want to talk about, there was a moment when I think it was Mbeumo was through, and a fantastic tackle by Gibbs White to stop him when he was one-on-one effectively with Turner. That was fantastic. Brought on Origi and Wood as well, two strikers, which was quite encouraging. But yeah, look, the point, I'll take it given the circumstances. We moved to Palace away. Will I take a point in that one? Yeah, probably I would. But we'll see how that one pans out a bit closer to the time. But yeah, I think you got to take the point in this one. Solid performance. Don't think it was one where, you know, you could say, look, we didn't deserve a point. I think a point might have been worthy of the game. But yeah, I think the way we hung in down to 10 men at times was really good. Really worked as a solid unit, and I'm happy with that. You know, I'm happy with that. So yeah, if you did enjoy this video, smash the like button, subscribe if you are new around here and you haven't already. Put in the comments what you thought of the game, your man of the match, all that good stuff. And thank you for watching, and come on, you Reds.